Yo, 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 what is going on, CoD Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder, and today we are going to be reviewing the next big update. We got the patch notes that just released here for 1.1.0, aka Burning Stars. And I haven't looked at anything yet, right? This just released, 2-3 hours ago. So we're going to do a first look. This is going to be a full walkthrough, right? We're going to break down everything that we read. I'm going to give you my opinions, my thoughts, pros and cons, and then we'll do a conclusion at the very end per usual. Before we get started, as always, if you enjoy the content, make sure you sub, like, ring the notification bell, and of course, if you want to join and be a part of our conversation, hit up the Discord. You can find a link to that in the pinned comment description right down below. Remember, new videos are coming out every day at 9 a.m. Eastern Time /14 UTC in-game, with the exception of today, because I pushed my video so I could record this and have this be the first one that came out. Okay, I'll also have timestamps as well that will cover each of the primary categories in the patch notes, just in case some of you want to fast forward or go to a specific one. All right, without further ado, here we go. Casual mode. So good to get some agua. All right, here we go. So it says, Dear Lord, let me see. We're just going to, of course, go to the meat stuff here. The latest announcement from the Merchants Guild is that version 1.1.0 Burning Stars will be released on November 28th. Dude, this is sick. That means that's, at least as of recording today, right? That's 5 days, right? Maybe less than 5 days away. I noted down all the new content myself. No need to thank me. Okay, we won't. That's cool. So here we go. Number one, an exciting new season. New season, Burning Stars news, and this is, I imagine, going to be season 2, has come to a furious inferno. Okay, spreading, well, let's go fast. Okay, so here we go. Oh, wait, hang on. Unite the Lords. Oh, here we go. To unite with Lords from other servers and write this new chapter in the history. Cool. And then number 2, affiliate, or I should say 1-2. Yeah, we'll do that. And then affiliated region reset. When the new season arrives, you must select an affiliated region to begin your adventure anew. This is cool. So I like this, that they're giving you the option to select one of the 7 starting Zone 1 regions that you can go to, instead of just randomly assigning you. This, to me, is going to be a really big thing because, again, if you are an alliance, and let's say you have 150 players, 170, 180 players, and you know you're going to have to break that down into a couple alliances, and this will be something we'll touch on later, but the fact is that if you have two or four servers that are merging together, even though we know ideally it's 4 servers, right, that they're going to try and do to merge into one, is that you as your alliances have to then choose which Zone 1, again, regions are you going to go into together? Are you going to split? Right? If you have multiple alliances that unify within your kingdom, how are you going to approach that? Are you going to try and do like the risk type strategy, right? Where you'll try and kind of start honing in on, what is it, like Australia, right? Is like the pro one where you'll then push out from there. But the idea is that you're trying to kind of go, get control of an entire region, and then you kind of start pushing out from that region where you have the least amount of hostility. I mean, again, there's so many different ways to approach it. Oh man, my passion bubble just exploded right there, and we just started. It's crazy. Okay, so now we get to 1-3, excuse me, which is Titan's Legacy Seasonal Challenges Reset. The new season brings new challenge quests for Titan Legacy. Oh, awesome. Oh, that's cool. Level up in Titan's Legacy to gain a new legendary artifact, Shadow Blades. Oh, this is dope. So I like how each season maybe they're throwing in a new legendary artifact, and they're going to give you the opportunity to get that. That to me is cool. I also like if they're adding in new challenges, which could make it maybe not easiest, but maybe a little easier for the free-to-play to kind of grind through, because I myself have not done a full grind through on Titan's Legacy, but the fact is that if they're adding in more challenge requests, that also gives you, give you up to additional resources beyond just the Titan's Legacy points to advance in levels to where you can eventually get to a legendary item. But again, this is cool. Then we get to 1-4, which is Dragon Trail reset and changes to Prestige. Okay, so basically they're just going to go in and reset Dragon's Trail. I mean, I think this is pretty face value, right? I don't think we have to kind of dive too much, I guess, into that, because if you've maxed it all the way out, maybe they're going to change it, or maybe it's just a standard reset, because if you think about it like this, this actually could be good. Because what that means is that you can, when it resets, you can regain those rewards. If I'm comparing this to something like Rise of Kingdoms, where you're going through and you're doing Expedition, Expedition to my knowledge does not reset. I've never seen it reset. So the fact that they're going to allow for you to reset this and then regain those rewards, dude, that is dope, right? Like oh man, it's just, dude, the patch notes have just started, and I love how the devs, at least regardless if they're viewed it like this or not, they are taking it from an approach of, you know what, the season's resetting, we're going to reset this is more rewards that we're going to allow for the free-to-play to get, right? Even though everyone can get them, this to me is also a win, regardless of the size that you feel it is, for the free-to-play. So I like that. And then we have changes to Prestige. Okay, you can now gain Prestige from Prestige Hero XP and Dragon Glass from Dragon Trail. Oh, that's cool. You will no longer gain Prestige from defeating Darkling Legions on the map. Now let's get to the next one here, which is going to be number 2. A smoother route to prosperity. 2-1. Changes and additions to artifacts. New artifacts: Fang of Ashkari, Legendary, Butcher's Blade, Centaur Bow Epic. I'm curious why they didn't put a thing here for Butcher's Blade. But Centaur Bow Epic, Veteran's Diary, Elite. Draw them from the Artifact Compendium and equip your heroes with them. It'd be nice if they told us, hey, these are ones you can get. I guess it doesn't really matter, but I guess my thought was, I wonder if it's something where they'll eventually make artifacts that are pay to win. I hope not, and they just remain available to everyone. And so I guess that's the assumption that we should take. But if it ever does happen, it'd be nice for them to detail that out. And then we have simplified the text of the artifact skill description for Phoenix Eye. Skill effect remains unchanged. Okay. Nice. Always happy to get more clearer language context. Fixed artifact skill uses of Tear of Arbon and Amulet of Glory. Their skill effects are now more reliable, triggering once per second. Oh, wow. That's actually pretty big, because I think before Tear of Arbon was doing once every 2 seconds, right? So it would last for 8, and it gave you 4, I think. So, wow. Okay, so it seems like they reduced the amount, but maybe now you'll get 8 procs from it if we're still lasting 8 seconds. Interesting. Okay. Added a new item in the Trail store. Indus tokens. Use Indus tokens to summon the legendary hero Indus. Oh, interesting. I wonder if this is going to be a... Oh my gosh, what is her name in Rock? And it's escaping me right now. Ethelfled. I wonder if this is going to be kind of like the Ethelfled Peacekeeper type. I wonder if this is going to be another legendary Peacekeeper, because that's one that you could get, right, dedicated from... I'm forgetting what the shop is, but I think it's the Expedition store. So this is cool, right? I wonder if that'll be the case. Then we get to number 3 here, a more accessible map. When the new season starts, Mist will cover Tamaris once more. Ooh, dude, this is what I'm talking about, right? Okay, yes, we may not be fans of having the Mist reset, but I love how they're approaching this as this is a true reset, right? And in that, you're going to be able to regain these starting resources, rewards, and materials, because this really helps out, you could argue, once again, just like Dragon Trail, the free-to-play. So I love this from the developers. This is a big win. And again, I'm not sure if they're even approaching it like this, but this to me is just a very creative way of going about how you're utilizing your season resets, and then even when you're just thinking about the merges as well, for what that will also factor going in. I like this. So we're going to have exploration, reset, supply caves, supplies caves, treasure maps, mercenary camps, astrology camps, and trader camps. Find them to gain plentiful rewards. Exploration progress for villages, wonders, and adventure camps will be retained. Locations that have already been discovered will not be affected. Okay. Then we get, what is this, 3-2? We have changed the number of villages, mercenary camps, astrology camps, and trader camps on the map, allowing you to more quickly complete your exploration of Tamaris. Okay. I wonder if this is a decrease, and does that mean that now they're not going to give us as many rewards, right? So even though they're resetting, okay, I mean, I'm not sure. It'd be nice if they said, right, are you increasing or decreasing the number? Added more Darkling Guards to the map, allowing you to find Darkling Guards closer to your city. I'll take that as a W. All right, then we get to number 4, an improved alliance system, 4-1. You can now summon magma daemons, be the first to defeat and purify the magma daemons and summon them in battle. Okay, cool. Right? We figured that was something that was going to be coming, so it's just nice to know there's a confirmation. And we get 4-2, Alliance Keeps. Alliance Keeps can now be built on Alliance territory. Oh, interesting. Alliance members can redeploy range. Let's see, ranged. Oh, where did I lose myself? Can now deploy range legions to Alliance Keeps to garrison them. Oh, this is cool. The Garrison Legion will automatically attack enemy legions within range. This to me, let's read a little bit more before I get to my thoughts. Legions garrisoned within Alliance Keeps can also be attacked by enemy legions. Unlock and level up the corresponding Alliance tech to increase the damage dealt by Alliance Keeps and reduce the damage they take, helping your Alliance to better defend its territory. This to me seems pretty cool, right? This is where you're probably going to use keeps on maybe bridges, on passes, for example, right? Maybe you'll set them up in front of passes or behind a pass, right? Maybe behind a pass if you have one captured and they're trying to rally it, so maybe it can hit there. Maybe you'll set keeps up along choke points, so if you're defending, you can kind of re-garrison a keep and then kind of use it as a defensive choke point to then kind of recollect yourselves and then push back. This is really cool. I like this. And just like the fact that you can use and build barricades, dude, I just want to say this. For those of you that have ever played something like Age of Empires, Age of Mythology, these are just the first things that come to mind for me, right? Remember, you can kind of build like towers, or kind of forgetting what else they were called, but you were able to build these at certain points along, either behind the wall, so you build a wall, then you kind of have your towers, or you'd build them in some kind of like a forward positioning or an offensive kind of tactic that you would apply. This just, it's almost as though they're just really applying such a creative and unique approach to the kingdom builder genre, where it feels as though they're taking inspiration from other strategy games that more so resemble kind of true RTS, right? We've talked about this before when you think about StarCraft, Warcraft, Age of Empires, Command & Conquer, etc., right? These are things that you can do in some of these games. And I love the fact that they're adding this in. This to me is a big W. Wow, okay, I'm really liking this update. Then we get to the next one, which is, 4-3. Improved functionality of the Merit Store. You will now be notified when new items have arrived after the store is refreshed each day. Oh, I like that. So they're going to give you a notification, right? I'm a big fan of friendly reminders. Then we get to number, -4. Improvements and changes to alliances and alliance buildings. It now costs 1,500 gems to create an alliance. Ooh, wow, interesting. So they raised that. I think the cost before was 500. Someone can correct me on that if I'm wrong, which we could probably test that too as well. But that is an increase. It now costs 500,000 alliance points to build an alliance core fortress. Okay, this to me I think is good, because I do feel as though the core fortress just was cheap, if you want to say that, or just was inexpensive. So I like that they're increasing the cost. Now, what I would like, and this is something I'm just going to note real quick, it would be nice if they gave us an explanation, right, on, hey, this is why we're increasing the cost of gems to create an alliance. This is why we think it's necessary to increase the alliance points per core fortresses. Even though, yeah, maybe some of us who play and we're, if you're in that position where you're an officer or a leader and you're able to place these a core fortress or others, right? Or basically just in one of those management positions within an alliance where you can do those things, right? You may know, but as a regular member, an everyday player, right? You make up the majority. You're not necessarily going to know for that reason. So it'd be nice for them to include some of those, even if it's just a quick quotation or something like that, or another sub point. That would be great. Alliance fortresses must be built adjacent in locations to your alliance's territory, and it must be possible to build a road to that location, allowing you to connect it to other alliance buildings. A countdown timer is now shown when removing alliance buildings. Interesting. So, which one alliance core fortress? This is iffy for me. In locations to your alliance's territory. Okay. The reason I say this is iffy is because I like the idea of being able to place a core fortress anywhere on the map that you have access to, right? To me, that seems to be a fun part of the game and really allows for a level of strategy and tactics that you can apply. One example is, let's say you're trying to build a core fortress because you want to get closer to someone else's territory. And so you're going to try and plant a far fortress, which means you have to plan ahead. You have to be able to have enough people in line and center there. And it's a double-edged sword, right? Because you can do all that. You can send all these people there, but then the enemy can defend from that, right? Because they're able to replenish their troops a lot faster. But maybe you win, right? So I love the fact that it's kind of like this Hail Mary that you toss up on being able to do that, or you potentially get crushed. So this isn't to say that I don't like the change. It's just what I want to convey is that I liked the strategy and I liked the tactical approach that you could apply with being able to place a core fortress anywhere on the map. And now with them changing it to where it has to be connected, right now it's just more of, you know, you kind of have to Jake the Snake your way everywhere. At least that's what it feels as though it's implying, right? So, because right, it says it must be possible to build a road to that location, allowing you to connect to your other alliance buildings. So, yeah, interesting. I mean, the thing I'll say though is that you can obviously build, from what it seems like, you can build your core fortress on anywhere on either end, right? So it's almost like you're playing dominoes, right? You can kind of place it on any branch of your territory. I just partly feel that it's not going to have the same impact, right? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. That's just how I feel. Then we get to shorten the time for automatic leader replacement. Your alliance leader will be automatically replaced. Oh, dude, interesting. Your automatic leader replacement. Your alliance leader will be automatically replaced if they have not logged in for 3 days. Number 6, where it says improved system for protecting alliance territory. You cannot attack resource points located within Alliance territory. You cannot attack Alliance member cities located within Alliance territory. While in battle, right, let me stop right there. For these first 2 points, basically what this just means is that you just have to focus on attacking the Alliance flag / cannon tower and remove that first. And then, once the territory is removed, then you can go ahead and start attacking resource points and then attacking cities. So really all they've done is create something such as a delay, right? Kind of like a soft delay protection for them. But you're still able to do it. You just can't do it right away. So for me, again, I'm going to say this. It does seem as though they might be over protecting. I want to say this though because I am not. Mainly because it gives you the option of so there's a few ways of looking at it. One is that it gives players the option, a little safety net, to where they can relocate themselves. However, if you're in war anyways, right? And let me do the other side. If you're in war anyways, and if your side is winning, and you're able to keep pushing them and burning flags, they will eventually get to a point where they won't have any territory, and you will eventually be able to attack their city and attack their resource nodes that they're gathering from. And also remember is that it's not as though the only legions that are ever going to be gathering are always going to be on Alliance territory. There's plenty of players that will gather from tiles, RSS tiles, that are not on Alliance territory, right? So just to be clear there. Then, while in battle, legions cannot enter resource points, Alliance member cities, or Alliance occupied passes located in Alliance territory. Same thing, right? This is just as long as a flag is there. But the kicker is that it's just not allowing for you to, like, let's say you're running your march away, right, or your legion away, and you're just trying to protect it because you're deep along the territory line. There's someone else's city or a node that's closer, so maybe you're just trying to protect, or for whatever reason it may be. From what this reads is that you have to pretty much walk all the way back to your city. So yeah, okay. In that case, I'm going to say I'm 50-50 here. I am somewhat leaning, though, in the direction of, I like the idea of you still being able to attack cities. However, I will give them the benefit of the doubt here, even though I do disagree because of the reasons stated. I just like the idea of being able to still attack any city, regardless if it's on territory or not, just because it's there, right? However, playing the other side, I will say this. The way that Call of Dragons is approaching their mindset, to me it seems, is that they want your territory to have some type of value. They want your alliance to have some type of value in an additional way that makes it so the territory you're building on comes with some type of safeguard for as long as the tower is there, right? So again, right? And obviously the cannon towers, if you're still doing open field fighting or you're fighting, you could still fight legions right around the cities. So again, I am 50-50 on it as far as on the understanding of where they're trying to go with this, at least from what I'm surmising. But I still lean a little bit on the other direction. Again, I'm open. I want to see how it's going to play out because it's just different, right? I think what I'll say here, not to spend too much time here, is that oftentimes we are trying to compare games to other games and other features that we like compared to other games' features. And I think it's good for us to be open enough to try and understand where they're coming from, what the true implications are of it, and then let it play out long enough so we can see what are the pros and cons, right? Let's get some data and collect. And then if it's something that is just not as good as something else, then we revert or we change it, right? Or at least advocate for it. So again, open to see how it plays out. Change the rules for sending resources. You can send and or loot a limited amount of resources per week determined by the capacity of your alliance market. I like this. This is a W to me because it limits what RSS sellers can do, right? Let's be real. RSS sellers is a big thing in these types of games where you are allowed to send resources. In addition, if you think about, and I'm just going to throw this out there because, most people know this already, right? If you're someone like Junie from Server 2, right, where you're just, max buying or buying a lot of stuff, and then you're sending resources, right? When we looked at his resource assisted, it was in the hundreds of millions, right, for resources that he had sent to players, right? And this is something that is also prevalent in other kingdom builders. I saw this quite a bit in Rock, where you would have just medium high spenders, right, your whales, if you will, that would send resources. They would transfer resources just unlimited, to an extent, right, for whatever their cap was based on what they could buy. And they would just send those resources out to help people boost to T4 or get closer to T5 or whatever else it may be. And so this, to me, I think caps those two most important areas, which is one, on what a heavy spender could be sending out, and then two, what players who are just making accounts to sell resources to others, RSS sellers, and limits them at least a little bit, right? Okay. But again, I think that's a W change. It says you can choose to refuse resources sent to you. Oh, you can choose to refuse resources sent to you by your alliance. Oh, okay. I don't really know why you'd want to choose to. I don't really understand why you'd want to choose to refuse. I think it'd be cool if maybe they. I think it would be cool if maybe they gave a setting or something. I don't really know. I'm gonna think about that a little bit more. Improved alliance rallies. The game will now automatically suggest deploying the same Legion type as the Legion captain when joining a rally. Dude, W improvement here. This is great. And I love that, how if you're going to join a rally, it'll just automatically default to the same Legion type. This is such a huge win. I love that they're giving more attention to detail on rally setting. And what I hope will maybe be a deeper dive down the road into looking at these kind of micro customizations for these types of things, right? With rallies being an important one. So I love this. Even things like garrisoning, right? Just having a deeper level of customization and support tools within that. It says you can now see the status of all legions that have been deployed to rallies on the rally screen, allowing you to decide whether your legion would be a good fit. I like that. Dude, W improvement. Here we go, number 5. An even richer combat experience. You can now select all your legions at once, allowing you to more easily command multiple legions at the same time. This is great. I wonder if that means like you can do the scroll or something, or I can click and drag on the screen, because before you'd have to like double tap in order to do that. So it'd be nice if they said how you can do that, just to give an example, right? Rallied armies maximum capacity is now displayed when attacking passes. I like this. That's another W change. Changes to peacekeeping. Increase the amount of speed-up items and training speed-up items gained after defeating level 16 to level 25 Darkling Legions and Dark Creatures. Increased, let me read this again. Okay, minus training speed-ups items gained. Oh, I like that. That's good. Raise the probability of gaining arrows of resistance. Okay, do W improvement. With each Darkling Legion defeated, the CP cost of consecutive attacks on Darkling Legions and Darkling creatures is now reduced from 5 to 2. The CP cost of consecutive attacks on Darkling Legions is now reduced from 5 to 2. This effect stacks out to a maximum of 10 CP reduced from 20. Oh, wow. So they've actually reduced the amount of reduction that you can get. So this just means that you now won't be able to farm essentially as many when you're going out per. Increase the difficulty of level 15 to 25 Darkling Legions and Dark Creatures. Okay. I mean, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'd have to get other people's feedback on that as well, but that to me doesn't seem as though that's a big thing at all. Other improvements. Number 6. Improve the layout and art of the Tales section. Oh, I like that. Added the gem gathering fatigue status. Once you reach a designated weekly gathering limit of 1,000 gems, your gem gather speed will be reduced. Oh, wow. This will be reset every Monday at midnight UTC. Remember, your forces need a work-life balance too. Okay, so I'm going to say this on this one is that I don't actually think this is... I don't know why they would put a reduction on gem gathering, right? Just at all. I mean, it's, you know, that's like saying you're putting a reset on regular gathering. That to me, you would really have to explain how this is justifiable, right? Because you have to think about it. If you're at a certain point, think about free to play, right? If you're at a certain point where you're just wanting to do nothing but gather gems for a day, right? Or you have a certain goal in mind because you just have enough RSS already stocked up, right? Your max castle, your max tech. This is something to look forward to, right? Being able just to gather gems is, you know, a really big thing. And I'll give you an example, right? One strategy that I've seen people do is they'll run farms. Their farms will transfer RSS to their main, and all their main does is just gather gems. This is something that some people do. And so again, I don't know if they're trying to combat that or if they're doing it for another reason. But I don't know, just reducing the gather speed once they hit a certain limit, that to me just... I just don't agree with that because it just seems like it's coming out of nowhere to me, right? It'd be like them saying, oh, after you gather 10... That's like saying after you gather 10 million gold per week, we're going to reduce the amount that you can gather, right? Gems is a valuable resource, right? And so if the way I view it is this, if players can be on for a long period of time, let them invest their time into getting those resources, right? By doing something like this, it's almost kind of, to me, it feels as though it's a slap in the face, right? To people, to players who are able to invest and commit more than the average amount of playing time. And they're not able to get the maximum gain from that additional time they're investing, right? If you want to keep more players on your game, right, my recommendation is don't limit these types of things, right? Again, unless there's something that's just overly justifiable and there's a good explanation for it, which I don't see and I can't even think of right now, this to me is just kind of unneeded, right? I feel it's unnecessary. Improved distribution of resource points on the map. Resource points surrounding behemoth layers and wonders will have higher levels. Ooh, I like this. W. You can now see the cooldown of territorial relocation from the city management screen. Okay, cool. You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see if there's something they could add, and I'll get to this in addition, but this one just made me think, right? It'd be cool if they gave you like an internal timer where only you and your alliance members or your alliance management could see on how long, on what the cooldown time, or sorry, on what the death timer is for a behemoth, right? Like after you summon it, how long does that behemoth have on the field? But maybe it's only something that a leader and or officers could view. That would be cool. Just a side note. All right. And that's it. It says, you know, Han, it's been a pleasure to fight alongside you. I truly mean it. Me and Dronk are looking forward to carrying on the fight against the Darklings by your side and hunting down some dragons too. So I hope you hold up your end of the deal. Your pal and business partner, Kella. Thank you, Kella. Again, I'm going to say this. This is a fantastic update. Again, it really seems as though they were honing in a little bit more on quality of life, right? We didn't necessarily get any new events, per se. However, I like that the quality of life approach was a little bit more focused here, and these are the types of updates that I actually love seeing, in my opinion, a lot more than just regular new event updates, even though, of course, we do definitely want more events, for sure. Just to me, my value is always going to be on the quality of life stuff. So I love this update. This is awesome. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below on anything that we touched on. I am excited, and I cannot wait. This could be the best update, if not it seems like the best update thus far. And just like my One Piece fam out there, as each new arc that Luffy and his crew get going on, it is always the best new arc in my opinion, and that seems to be the same trend, rolling trend, that we're getting from the Call of Dragons updates as well. All right, that is it for me. As always, until next time, I will catch you later.